What is your opposite of love language? What is something you feel is supposed to make you feel happy, but instead skeeves you out? Unnecessary big show-offy gestures. An ex once told me, don't worry, I won't cheat. If you worry, I can snap my SIM card into two right in front of you right now. I'll buy a new SIM card and only you and my mother will get my number. Screw my friends. I'll only contact you and my mother. That's all. I was 99,999,999% creeped out. We were talking about jogging, and he said he wants to jog all the way to my house, a few miles away, to give me a hug and run home. He does not have a habit or experience of long distance running. He also said he wants to change his job to suit my timing. I worked 9 to 5 while he worked shifts. He also said he wants to buy a house beside mine. He worked weekends while I did not, so he would often just bail on work and ask to take me out. I said no. All these were less than 1 month into dating. I dropped him like a hot potato. Big gestures like surprise parties or the thought of getting proposed to anywhere in public with people watching. My husband loves surprises. For his 40th, I threw him a massive surprise party. All of his friends, family, everything. He was so freaking excited. And I really managed to pull it off, which is nothing short of a miracle. I can't keep secrets well, and am a bad liar. Close bracket. But he told me that he couldn't want to return the favor for me someday. I told him that I would turn around and leave any surprise party. I hate them. His response is always, oh, no you won't. You'll be so excited. So, here begins me spending the rest of my life going out of town for my birthday. Being sung to me. It's horrible. I never know how to react, so I just sit there feeling insanely awkward and uncomfortable. Showing up unannounced as being some kind of romantic gesture. I would probably pretend to love it, to not hurt his feelings, but actually absolutely hate it. When I was a freshman, 14 years old, this 19-year-old guy showed up at my house, unannounced at 9 PM. I knew he was there to ask me out. He had already asked me out 3 times before this. So I opened my door and decided to ramble about cereal so that he wouldn't ask me out. He still asked me out though. Even thought the other 3 times he asked me out I told him no and that I had a boyfriend. Having the let's not do gifts conversation and both agreeing not to, and then I get surprised with a gift. Thanks. Now I can't enjoy what you gifted me because I feel like awkward garbage for not getting them something. I definitely agree with this one 100%. An ex of mine used a no gifts Christmas to buy me a $1,000 vacation. I felt awkward to tell him I already had plans that date. He threw a fit. I cancelled my plans with my friends and we went on the vacation being awkward and feeling guilty the whole time. Never again. Please do not ever read me a poem or sing me / play me a song unless you want me to be an awkward, laughing, dying on the inside and wanting to melt into the ground mess. I can't even watch that scene in Twilight where Edward's reading crap to Bella in a meadow before I start laughing my head off nervously because my brain just says it's also cringy and bad. A new BF once recited a Shakespeare monologue for me for my birthday. Just me and him in his bedroom. I just had to sit there not knowing what to say. He had the best intentions, but it was so awkward. And ex called me to read me my favorite poem while we were dating. It was long and so behind awkward. Like, what do I do? Sit here quietly while you butcher the rhythm? Getting told something vague like, be ready to go out tonight for something special. It gives me anxiety. Are we going out alone / with other people? Will I be over or underdressed? Should I eat beforehand? Or are we going to eat? I feel bad asking to spoil the surprise, but I just need to know what to be prepared for. My partner and I have a system for regular outings, not necessarily surprise outings. If it's, hey let's meet up with so and so tonight, I ask, scale of 1 to 5. The scale is to help me know how fancy to dress, with a 1 being us two alone watching movies and 5 being top notch. I used to ask a lot of questions about who was going to be there, where we'd end up, etc. But really all I want to know is how to dress. Honestly, the scale, and then a scale for publicness. 1 being just us two alone. 3 being restaurant. and a 5 being like major party / interaction. Otherwise I couldn't prepare myself emotionally and mentally. Always hated when a get together starts out with like 4 to 5 people and by the end of the night it's a full blown party. Sexualizing conversation, especially on the phone, especially when it's a reach. Sure, everyone flirts different, but it's not sexy. I've never found this attractive. It's never put me in the mood. It makes me think you're dumb. What are you doing? Apostrophe. Getting ready. Apostrophe. Oh. Are you naked? Did you shower? Apostrophe. Another. What's the weather like? Apostrophe. It's raining. Apostrophe. Are you in a bikini? Apostrophe. STFU. You sound stupid. I hate it. When people have good intentions while completely ignoring the fact that they know you don't like what they are trying to force onto you. This so much. I get told to be happy / excited for what they did, but in reality it's the opposite of what I wanted, so why do I have to be appreciative? For example, a guy I used to date bought me a birthday gift after going on dates for like 3 weeks. I don't like big gifts in general, and I knew what he was going to buy and told him not to. I didn't want to associate this thing with another person. I wanted to buy it myself as a treat because I wanted it for so long now. What did he do? He bought it for me, and I'm not allowed to be mad because he had good intentions and only wanted to make me happy. No dude, you just did exactly what I told you not to do. Large groups of people. Some are like cool. A lot of people that I'm a part of I'm like duck. This is too many people. I picked the wrong day to leave my house. I like people. Just quality at a low dose and low frequency. Giving me things I don't need want. Like, great. Now I have to say thank you and deal with whatever object this is. Consider your feelings, etiquette and how to dispose of this object because it does not spark joy. Ugh, yes. I was shook by the number of people bringing gifts to a wedding shower that were not on the registry. And they'd even say, oh, I looked at your registry, but it was a little different, so I bought this instead. Like, woman, our registry looks different because we already have all the dish towel / pillow / picture frame / cooking utensils we need. Random sexual touches. Like, I know some people who love the random grab on the, but by their so, it makes them feel wanted and desired. For me, it catches me off guard and makes me feel very objectified. I'm a sexual person, but I fully believe in working up to stuff like that. There has to be a context. Use less expensive gifts like jewelry or dozens of roses. A handwritten note is just as romantic, and we can use that money for a nice outing. Or just keep it in the bank. It just seems like such a waste to me. Gifts. I was raised to never accept gifts due to abusive reasons. So when receiving them now I instantly reject them / assume I owe my BF a lot of money or gifts even greater. Weirds him out whenever he does something as simple as getting me a bag of candy corn, and I respond by baking him cookies and getting him 2 bags of razors. True story, that last one. I have no idea how I'll ever respond to an engagement ring. Probably will buy him a motorcycle in a panic. Anything dealing with money, always afraid someone's going to want more in return. I'll pay for my own whatever, just to avoid the entitlement. I personally don't even like taking things from male friends / acquaintances, because men seem so weird about it. I lend and give my female friends money all the time without expecting a thing. The only issue I had was they didn't care enough about my well-being to loan me $1 when I needed it, so I had to stop. I don't like being addressed by name. Especially in a business / sales context when someone will use it repeatedly to breed familiarity. But Dale Carnegie's advice that a person's name is their favorite word to hear. I don't like my name and I feel like it just doesn't fit me. I've tried to think about other names I might like better and have gone by other nicknames in the past, but I've grown sick of those too. And that also created stress around how to introduce myself in a group depending on who I was with and what they called me. As strange as it sounds, if I didn't have to go by a name, I probably wouldn't. Although I'm aware that Dale Carnegie was probably right about most people, because I know what it feels like. I tend to not address other people by name often, or at all when speaking to them, e.g., hey, and thank you, without appending their name at the end in case it bothers them. but that has probably resulted in a lot of people thinking I'm rude or impersonal. I feel weird bringing that up when meeting someone. Like, I don't like being addressed by name. So I thought I'd ask whether or not you'd like me to address you by name. But maybe if more people talked about it and some of the other things mentioned in this thread, at least among close contacts, we could all be better equipped to make each other feel safe and comfortable. Edit. Thank you to all who replied and shared before the thread was locked. Perhaps this is a more common phenomenon than we all realized. Makes me feel a lot less alone. I actually like my name and still hate when people use it. It feels fake. It's also unnecessary to use my name 15 times in a conversation, especially if it's a one-on-one conversation. It's inefficient, and when people do it, I wonder why. I immediately assume that the person is disingenuous. To me it's like holding up a little flag saying I'm now trying to manipulate you into having positive feelings about me, which freaks me out so damn much and puts me 100% on guard for whatever it is they are trying to slip past my radar. Planned, buy and sew, surprises. For example, where are we going to dinner? Oh, it's a surprise. Okay, but is this like a sweatshirt and jeans thing or a gown and heels and makeup thing? Are we picking one of those restaurants we've gone to before that were freezing? So maybe I should grab a sweater, or is it going to be someplace brand new? So I won't know the layout or the menu, or where to find the bathroom or anything. Or, I planned a surprise for us today. Where? When? What? What do I wear? Hiking shoes and workout gear, or casual dress, or jeans and a tee? Is it outdoors or indoors? Do I need a jacket? How far away is it? And how long will we be there? Should I pack us snacks? Should I pack us lunch? Will we have to drive a long distance? And if so, will we be back before dark? Will there be public restrooms where we are going? Will there be large crowds of people? Do I need anything specific to the setting? I understand why surprise plans are romantic for some, but for me, they just become anxiety central. Surprise plans are so much better when it's given some necessary information like next Sunday at 3. Dress casual and warm. And don't worry about eating beforehand. And plan to be home by 9 PM. It's one thing to keep the location/activity a secret, but this takes a lot of the planning stress out because you know what you need and for how long. That be free this weekend, I'll surprise you at some point stuff gives me acid reflux. I swear it's just too vague. And I hate waiting. Anything done in public that would attract others' attention. X. Being proposed to. Someone confessing their love to me. Lot of PDA. Stuff like that. People buying me food and expecting me to eat it. I have a lot of dietary restrictions and I'm trying to lose weight. When people know and are able to follow my restrictions, it's fine. But all too often they miss a part and buy me something I can't eat. And then they get butthurt when I thank them graciously but don't eat it. I hate this too. And everyone always wants to cook for me and thinks that they can handle it, but then I end up checking the labels of their ingredients before we eat and having to be like, oh crap, well I can't eat this because it'll poison me, and then we all feel bad. I'd rather just skip the whole thing, but people get butthurt when you reject their invitations to cook for you. Words of affirmation. I have imposter syndrome and I'm insecure. So someone telling me I'm amazing just makes my brain attack itself saying it's not. But then again, I still want to be told I'm great. Suhu double-edged sword LMAO. Cuddling while sleeping. I can't stand it. Nor can I sleep. I can't touch someone else at all. Not even with a single toe. When I go to bed, an ex and I had a pillow wall between us, and it was the best thing. Being mocked or made fun of. Especially in public. Some people think a light-hearted, not mean, gentle teasing is affectionate, but I find it humiliating. I'm horrified when casual friend or acquaintances do that sort of thing, whether I'm the target or not. Oh my god. Yes, I hate that. Too. There's such a fine line between affectionate teasing and making fun of someone for reals. And nearly every time I have seen an actual human being, not something scripted on TV, claim to be affectionately making fun of someone else, it hasn't seemed that way to me. It just seems like mild passive aggressiveness, GBH. When I took a quiz, my love language was acts of service and the one I was least compatible with was gifts, which upon reflection maybe is kinda true. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy gifts, but so I don't need anything too lavish or expensive to feel loved. I'm content with my favorite bar of chocolate or my favorite bottle of Ross, which is only about 6/7 in the shop. I feel super uncomfortable when someone spends a lot of money on a gift for me because I feel like it could be used in a better way. Not to put myself down, but it comes off as kinda unreasonable. Tongue kissing. I've always been weirded/grossed out by the feeling of another person's tongue in my mouth. It will make me want to cringe and pull away, and turns me off. I've never met another person with this issue, and I've had partners get very disappointed when I'd communicate, so I love kissing normally, and love kissing a partner's hands and body, whether sweetly or sexually. A hint of tongue is okay if I'm in the headspace, and I know they will appreciate it. But others love deep maquillage sessions, and I'm so not about it. What's frustrating is the times I've been in a headspace where I could do so for a partner, and it turns into a OMG that time. And I'm talking about it repeatedly, apparently. According to partners, I'm a good kisser as well. It makes me feel so pressured to do so again, which kills me in my libido. It feels like when you try out anal with your BF for the first time, and you don't care for it but he does. And then all he talks about is wishing he could duck you in the butt again. N. Like. E. Ugh. H. So I have a very weird thing where I hate being the center of attention and putting people out, but also hate being ignored. I'm well aware how annoying it is. So like any kinda of big public gesture, like a big public proposal, where people are looking, makes me want to die inside. Like I physically start to feel sick sometimes. I also struggle with people having put a lot of effort in and others having gone out of their way, or being put out to attend, or whatever, as I feel like I'm being a burden and don't necessarily deserve all that effort. However, I would also be upset with someone who thought that meant I want no effort, or want everything low-key, or that I wasn't bothered with little or no attention. I'm just the worst, lol. A guy's arm around my shoulders makes me feel like a possession or an accessory. Plus the smell and armpit hair. Plus I prefer women. At a store a song came on that the guy I was with liked, so he grabbed me and started to dance with me. I hated every second of it. Buying me gifts. I know this is a big deal for some, but please for the love of God don't buy me shit. Little tokens like a Coke at the gas station is fine. Spending 1k on my birthday is not. I'd rather save that money for something needed. For an emergency fund. Big trips/vacations. College funds for the kids. Anything else. But my boyfriend's love language is gifts. Unfortunately. Not having personal hobbies, or adopting all of your hobbies to do them with you. Gotta have your own thing, my dude. People who try to weasel into every aspect of your life, like they have no personality of their own, just creep me TF out. Flexing. People do this when they are trying to sell themselves that they're a good catch, that they have high value, and would be a good choice. But to me it just screams, hey, I think love is transactional, conditional, and limited. Apostrophe. Sexual/intimate/romantic dominance. I hate being overtly womanized/babied. Sexually, that's pretty self-explanatory. But as an example, I can talk about my first boyfriend. This guy was really tall, so it was more comfortable for him to put his arm around my shoulders rather than hold my hand. This action made me feel so creeped out and literally made my skin crawl for no good reason, other than the fact that I felt overpowered by a man. I always felt very strange about feeling this way as a woman, especially as a diehard romantic. I found myself watching any type of romantic TV shows just to catch a glimpse of the male lead being dominated by the woman. Ordering for me, as in not allowing me to order my own food and assuming you know what I would enjoy. I have never experienced this, but the shows were scenes depicting a man saying to a waiter, and the lady will have, enrage me. Good morning texts. Also, when people try to strike up a conversation with me, asking how I'm doing, etc., only to reveal it's because they want something. Just tell me what you want from the get-go. Overly physical touches. I don't want to cuddle all the time. Not at all. Sleeping while cuddling is a nightmare for me. Talking or falling asleep face to face. 1 apart. I just can't breathe your breath without feeling like him suffocating. Words of affirmation. Goodness. Please. Save it for your kids. I cringe so hard at that stuff. Like, be quiet please. Thanks. Yes. When I'm down. My partner used to go on these long monologues telling me I'm so strong and I got this, etc. I know it was well intentioned, but I hate it. It's not because I have a low self-esteem and it makes me uncomfortable to hear good things about myself or something either. Sometimes I just want to feel bad and don't want to hear some cliche silver lining. Too much touch. I need my personal space. I dated a guy who had serious issues around needing to be in physical contact with me all the time after work. He somehow survived during work. It drove me absolutely nuts. It was then that I knew it would not work out. Lots of compliments. Lots of sweet talks, etc. I need words to be really freaking meaningful. Like when you say something it is not casual. Being fed like a baby. Not like hey, here, try this chip. But the whole over the top lowering a strawberry into the mouth thing. Ugh, I hate it. I really hate a guy stepping in to stand up for me when I could have done it better myself. Or when they want to build stuff for you. But it actually makes me feel really great about myself to accomplish these things on my own. The idea that one day a man might ask my father for his blessing/permission to marry me grosses me the duck out. Lastly, red goddamned roses. There are better flowers if you want to go that route. My so buying me gifts. Don't get me wrong. I'm appreciative that he thinks of me so often, and I love everything I get. But I always feel extremely guilty whenever I receive a gift because I feel like it's a waste of money if it's spent on me. Massages. Hate them. Can't imagine having a couple's massage whilst face down in that toilet bowl face ring of the massage table. And surprises. If I'm home alone and getting some me time, don't turn up with food and drinks to surprise me isn't appreciated. I hate it when anyone touches my face, caresses my cheeks, etc. I physically recoil. My dad grabbed my face with one hand a few times when I was a kid when he got pissed at something, so that's probably where it comes from. Endearments like baby, honey, sweetheart, etc. It annoys me a lot, especially when we are not so familiar with each other. Changing the relationship status on Facebook or expecting me to put a lot of photos of us online. Maybe it's just me. I'm reserved. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.